You can download the answer in the video for free, link in the description. For a dash like the one seen in Celeste, go to your player script. Inside, we will define 2 constants and 4 variables. Dash amount is the amount we apply to velocity to push the player during the dash. Dash time is the total time until the dash stops. As for the variables, can dash will define the player's ability to dash and will also be used to animate the player like Celeste color changing hair. Is dashing is the state of whether we are currently dashing or not. Dash dir is the direction that the dash is going towards. We also make sure to set this dash dir to a vector 2.right, as that will be the default looking direction. In Celeste, if you are not moving and you press the dash button, then you will dash towards the horizontal look direction. So we require having a starting dash dir that is either to the left or right. And dash timer will count down from the dash time constant until it reaches 0. Then it will stop the dash. For the logic of the dash, we will create a custom function called dash logic, which will have a built-in variable called delta. We will call this function later, passing the physics processes delta, as we require delta for our dash timer. Inside the dash logic function, we will first get the dash direction. To do so, we will define a variable that will store what direction buttons are being pressed. We can use input.getAxis, passing the input that will provide -1, then the input that will provide a +1. Doing this will allow us to know what direction the player is currently pressing. Additionally, we normalize the vector 2. Normalize will take a vector 2 and make sure that the x and y values can't be less than -1 or more than 1. Also, in the case that both the x and y values are not equal to 0, then normalize will change the values to around 0.7, which will make the horizontal movement the same speed as the movement in one axis. Now in Celeste, when you perform a dash and you aren't pressing any movement keys, you will dash towards the direction that you are looking. To keep track of where the player was last looking horizontally, we will first check if input dir.x is not 0, then set the x value of the dash dir to the input dir's x value. Adding this if statement will ensure that the dash dir will hold the horizontal look direction. Now to activate a dash, we will first check if we can dash and that the dash input is being pressed. We will then create a variable to store the final dash direction that we will be using. This will be equal to the current dash dir value, as we especially want its x value. We will then check if input dir.y is not 0 and that the x value is 0. If so, then we will set the x value of the final dash dir to 0. This ensures that in the case that we are just trying to dash up or down, we don't force any horizontal direction, as keeping track of the horizontal direction is just for the case that we aren't pressing any input keys whatsoever. Additionally, this line is why we create the final dash dir variable, as if we were to just set the dash dir.x to 0, then we would lose track of the player's horizontal look direction. Finally, we set the final dash dir's y value to the input dir's y value. Then we set can dash to false, is dashing to true, and we reset the dash timer by setting it to the dash time constant. Then we also set the velocity to the final dash dir multiplied by the dash amount. Now to ensure that the timer counts down as we are dashing, we will first check if we are dashing. If so, then we will minus delta from the dash timer. This will lower the dash timer towards 0, and using delta will ensure the timer is frame rate independent, as delta represents the amount of real world time that has passed since the previous frame. Then we check if the timer is less than or equal to 0, meaning that the timer has completed, then set is dashing to false. As for updating the visuals when the player can and can't dash, like the change of the character's hair in Celeste, we will create a custom function called update dash visuals. Inside, we will check if we can dash or not, then set the player's modulate appropriately. Because of the way we run this function, feel free to run any animations or activate any tweens, as this function will run once each time the player's visuals need to be updated, and it will not be constantly running every frame. Then inside of the dash input, we will call the update dash visuals function. This is because we are changing the value of can dash. Now to reset the can dash variable whenever the player reaches the ground, inside of the physics process function, check if it's on floor, then check if we are not dashing and that can dash is currently false. Then we set can dash to true and call the update dash visuals function. To stop the player's input from interfering during the dash, we will stop all horizontal movement code if we are dashing, and we will also stop any gravity code as well. Finally, we can call the dash logic function, passing the physics process built-in delta variable. Now for our dash replenish object, create a new scene with a sprite 2D as the core, right click, rename it to dash replenish, then go to scene save as, and save it. We will then set the texture to the art atlas that you can download for free, link in the description. Then we will set the texture filter to nearest as we are using pixel art, and now we'll set the animation H frames to 17, the V frames to 5, and the frame value to 52. Feel free to use an animation player or tween for your dash replenish. However, in this tutorial, I will just change the frame value. Add an area 2D node to the scene, add a clean shape 2D node as a child of the area 2D node, set the shape to a rectangle 2D, and set the size to 4x4. This area 2D will detect the player and allow them to dash again. Then we will add a timer node, right click, hit rename it to replenish timer. We will enable one shot so that the timer stops running after it finishes. You could then set the wait time as you would like here. This timer will be used to reset the dash replenish, allowing the player to use the dash replenish again once this timer completes. Finally, select the sprite node and add a script. Then select the area 2D node, go to node, signals, right click the body entered signal, press connect and connect it to the script. Then select the replenish timer node, right click the timeout signal, press connect and connect that to the script as well. Inside the dash replenish script, we will establish a variable called activate, which will hold the state of the dash replenish and whether it is active for the player to use or not. Then inside the body entered signal function, to know whether the body that is colliding with the area 2D is the player and not some other type of body within our game, we will first go to the player script, and inside the player's built-in ready function, we will add the player to a group called player. This will allow us to identify the player based on if the body is in this player group or not. Back inside the dash replenish script, we will check if the body colliding is in a group called player and that this dash replenish is active. If so, then we will first check if the player can dash. If they can dash, then there is no reason to reset this dash replenish, so we will use return to skip all the code below. Else we will set can dash to true and active to false. We will then change the dash replenish's frame value to 53. This is where you may want to run any animation for changing the visual state of the dash replenish node. Then we will update the player's dash visuals as we have changed their can dash value. And finally, we will start the replenish timer to allow for this node to become active again. Inside the replenish timer timeout signal function, which activates when the timer completes, we will reset active by setting it to true. Then we will change frame back to 52. Again, this is where you would want to run any animation for changing the visual state of the dash replenish node. Now you have a simple dash similar to the one seen in Celeste that you can add to any of your 2D platformer games. And don't forget that you can check the project files and link in the description.